Hello all, today we are going to start Unit 4 Image Compression. First, what is meant by image compression? Image compression is the process of encoding or converting an image file in such a way that it consumes less space than the original file. It is a type of compression technique that reduces the size of an image file without affecting or degrading its quality to a greater extent. Image compression, the art and science of reducing the amount of data required to represent an image, is one of the most useful and commercially successful technology in the field of digital image processing. The number of images that are compressed and decompressed daily is strategy, and the compressions and decompression themselves are virtually invisible to the user. Anyone who owns a digital camera, surfs the web, or watches the largest Hollywood movies on digital video disc, that is DVDs, benefits from the algorithm and the standard. To better understand the need of compact image representation, consider the amount of data required to represent a 2-hour standard definition, that is SD, television movie using 720 by 480 by 24 bit pixel array. A digital movie or a video is a sequence of video frames in which each frame is full color still image, because video players must display the frames sequentially at the rate near 30 fps, means frame per second. SD video data must access at 30 frames per second into 720 by 480 pixel per frame multiplied by 3 bytes per pixel is equal to 31,104,000 bytes per second. And a 2-hour movie consists of 31,104,000 bytes per second, and into 60 square second per hour into 2 hours is nearly equal to 2.24 into 10 raised to 11 bytes, means 224 GB of data. In this chapter, we introduce the theory and the practice of digital image compression. We examine the most frequently used compression techniques and describe the industry standard that make them useful. The material is introductory in nature and applicable in both still image and video applications. Then, what are the basic steps in image compression? First one is applying the image transform. Second, quantization of the labels, and third one is encoding the sequence. These are the basic steps used in an image compression techniques. Then why the need of image compression? Why we use the image compression? The objective of image compression is to reduce the irrelevance and redundancy of the image data to be able to store or transmit the data in an efficient form. It is a concern with minimizing the number of bits required to represent an image. Image compression may be lossy or lossless. This is the need of image compression. The next one is fundamentals of image compression. Data compression refers to the process of reducing the amount of data required to represent a given quantity of information. Data are the means by which information is conveyed, because various amounts of data can be used to represent the same amount of information. Representation that contain irrelevant and repeated informations are said to contain redundant data. If we let B and B dash denote the number of bits or information carrying unit in two representations of the same information, the relative data redundancy R of the representation with B bits is R is equal to 1 minus 1 upon C, where C is commonly called the compression ratio, is defined as C is equal to B upon B dash. If C is equal to 10, for instance, the larger representation has 10 bits of data for every 1 bits of data in the smaller representation. The corresponding relative data redundancy of the larger representation is 0.9, indicating that 90% of its data is redundant. In the context of digital image compression, B usually in the number of bits is the number of bits needed to represent an image as a 2D array of intensity values. The 2D intensity values are prefer format for the human viewing and interpretation and the standard by which all other representations are judged. When it comes to compact image representation, however, these formats are far from optimal. Two-dimensional intensity array suffer from three principal types of data redundancy that can be identified and exploited. That is, there are three types of redundancy in 2D intensity array are coding redundancy, spatial and temporal redundancy, and irrelevant information. We discuss one by one in detail. First one is coding redundancy. A code is a system of a symbol, means it either be letter, number, bits, used to represent a body of information or set of events. Each piece of information or event is assigned a sequence of code symbols called a code word. The number of symbols in each code word is its length. The 8-bit codes that are used to represent the intensities in most 2D intensity arrays contain more bits than are needed to represent the intensities. Then next one is spatial and temporal redundancy, because the pixel of the most 2D intensity array are correlated spatially. That is, each pixel is similar to or dependent on neighboring pixel. Information is unnecessarily replicated in the representation of the correlated pixel. In a video sequence, temporarily corrected correlated pixel, that is those similar to or dependent on pixel in nearby frames, are duplicate information. And third one is irrelevant information. Most 2D intensity arrays contain information that is ignored by human visual system and or extraneous to the intended use of the image. It is redundant in the sense that it is not the use. These are the three types of redundancy in 2D intensity array. Let us consider the figure. The computer generated images in figure A through C exhibit each of these fundamental redundancy. As we will be seen in the next three sections, compression is achieved when one or more redundancy is reduced or eliminated. Then we are studying these types of redundancy in detail one by one. First one is coding redundancy. If the gray level of image are coded in a way that uses more code symbols than absolutely necessary to represent each gray level, then the resulting image is said to contain coding redundancy. Assume that a discrete random variable rk in the interval 0 L-1 is used to represent the intensity of an m by n image, and that each rk occurs with the probability PRRK, that is given by PRRK is equal to nk upon mn, where the k varies from 0 to L-1, where L is the number of intensity values and nk is the number of times that the kth intensity appears in the image. If the number of bits used to represent each value of rk is L of rk, then the average number of bits required to represent each pixel is L average is equal to summation of k is equal to 0 to L-1 L of rk PRRK. That is, the average length of the code word assigned to the various intensity value is found by summing the product of number of bits used to represent each intensity and the probability that the intensity occur. The total number of bits required to represent an m by n image is m n L average. If the intensity are represented using a natural n bit fixed length code, the right hand side of the equation reduced to the m bit, that is L average is equal to m, where m is a substituted for L of rk. The constant m can be taken outside the summation, leaving only the sum of the PRRK. For 0, k is lies from 0 to L-1, which is of course equal to 1. The computer generated image we are seen previously has the intensity distribution shown in the second column of table. If the natural 8-bit binary code as code is used to represent its 4 possible intensity L average, the average number of bits for the code 1 is 8 bit, because L1 rk is equal to 8 bits for all rk. Then next one is spatial and temporary redundancy. Spatial or interpixel redundancy exploits correlation across different pixels of an image. These allow a pixel value to be estimated from its neighboring pixel. A typical method known as a run length encoding can represent the beginning value of a line and the length of the line that maintain the same value. Pixel in a two video frames that have the same value in the same location. Exploiting interframe coding, that is temporal redundancy, is a primary technique in a video compression. See interframe coding. All the 256 intensities are equally probable as figure shows. The histogram of image is uniform because the intensity of each line was selected randomly. Its pixels are independent of one another in the vertical direction because the pixels along each line are identical. They are maximally correlated, that is completely dependent on one another in the horizontal direction. In the most images, pixels are correlated spatially in both x and y and in a time because most pixel intensity can be predicted reasonably well from neighboring intensities. The information carried by a single pixel is small. Much of its visual contribution is redundant in the sense that it can be inferred from its neighbor. To reduce the redundancy associated with spatially and temporally correlated pixels, a 2D intensity array must be transformed into a more efficient but usually non-visual representation. For example, run lengths or a difference between adjacent pixels can be used. Transformations of this type are called mappings. A mapping is said to be reversible if the pixel of the original 2D intensity array can be reconstructed without error from the transform data set. Otherwise, the mapping is said to be irreversible. Next topic is measuring image formation. Information theory provides the mathematical framework to answer these and related questions. Its fundamental premise is that the generation of information can be modeled as a probabilistic process that can be measured in a manner that agrees with intuition. In accordance with this supposition, a random event E with a probability P of E is said to contain I is equal to log of 1 upon PE is equal to minus log P of E. Units of information. If P of E is 1, I of E is 0 and no information is attributed to it because no uncertainty is associated with the event, no information would be transferred by communicating that the event has occurred. It always occurs if P of B is 1. The base of the logarithm in equation determines the unit used to measure information. If the base m logarithm is used, the measurement is said to be m array units. If the base 2 is selected, the unit of information is the bit. Note that if P of A is equal to 1 by 2, I of A is equal to minus log 2 1 by 2 or 1 bit, that is 1 bit is the amount of information conveyed when one of two possible equally likely events occur. A simple example is flipping a coin and communicating the result. Given a source of statistically independent random events from the discrete set of possible events a1, a2, dash 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 up to aj with associated probabilities p of a1, p of a2, dash 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 up to p of aj, the average information per source output called the entropy of the source is h is equal to summation minus summation of j is equal to 1 to j p of aj log of p of aj. The aj is in this equation are called as a source symbol. Because they are statistically independent, the source itself is called a zero memory source. If an image considered to be the output of an imaginary zero memory intensity source, we can use the histogram of the observed image to estimate the symbol probabilities of the source. Then the intensity source entropy becomes h bar or h bar is equal to minus summation of k is equal to 0 up to L minus 1 P R R K log 2 P R R K, where variables L, R K and P R R K, because the base 2 logarithm is used, is the average information per intensity output of the imaginary intensity source in bits. It is not possible to code the intensity values of the imaginary source, and thus the sample image with a fewer than h dash bits per pixel. Shannon first theorem, which means the symbol in the code word are greater than or equal to the alphabets in the source code. This source coding theorem is called as a noiseless coding theorem, as it establishes an error-free encoding. It is also called as a Shannon first theorem. To prove it in a general way, Shannon looked at representing a group of n consecutive source symbol with a single code word rather than one code word per source symbol, and show that limit n tends to infinity L average dot n upon n is equal to h. H is nothing but entropy, where L average dot n is the average number of code symbols required to represent all the n symbol group. In the proof, he defined the nth extension of the zero memory source to be the hypothetically source that produces the n symbol block, using the symbols of the original source, and computed L average dot n by applying the above equation to the code word used to represent the n symbol block. In above equation tells us that L average dot n upon n can be made arbitrarily close to the h by encoding infinitely long extension of the single symbol source. That is, it is possible to represent the output of zero memory source with an average of h information unit per source symbol. If we now return to the idea that an image is a sample of an intensity source that produces it, a block of n source symbol correspond to a group of n adjacent pixels to construct a variable length code for n pixel blocks. The relative frequencies of the block must be computed, but the nth extension of hypothetical intensity source with the 256 intensity value has 256 raised to n possible n pixel block. Even in the simple case of n is equal to 2, a 65,536 element histogram and up to 65,536 variable length code words must be generated. For n is equal to 3, as many as 16,77,000 1,67,216 code words are needed. So, even for a small value of n computational complexity limit the usefulness of the extension coding approach in practice. Finally, we note that the lower bound on the compression that can be achieved when the coding statistically independent pixels directly. It breaks down when the pixels of an image are correlated. Blocks of correlated pixels can be coded with the fewer average bits per pixel than the equation predicts. Rather than using source extension, less correlated descriptors like intensity run lengths are normally selected and coded without extension. When the output of the source of information depends on the finite number of preceding output, the source is called a Markov or finite memory source. The output of the nth extension in the an n tuple of symbols from the underlying single symbol source. It was considered a block random variable in which the probability of each n tuple is the product of the probabilities of its individual symbols. The entropy of the nth extension is then n times the entropy of the single symbol source from which it is derived. From our discussion, it is concluded that the Shannon-Furst theorem, which means the symbol in the code word are greater than or equal to the alphabets in the source code. This source coding theorem is also called as noiseless coding theorem, and it establishes an error-free encoding. It is also called as a Shannon-Furst theorem. This is all about the Shannon-Furst theorem. Thank you.